Hello, boys! If you think modern units of measurement are confusing, like inches, miles, or whatever the hell a fluid ounce is, just know that humans used to measure travel by how long a reindeer can hold its piss. And that's not even the worst one. Seriously. So sit tight, grab a drink, because we are going down the rabbit hole. Because this is the most ridiculous units of measurement ever used. The barleycorn. In medieval England, 1 inch was defined as 3 barley grains placed end to end. Specifically, dry, round barleycorns, taken from the middle of the ear, because obviously every piece of barley on earth is exactly the same size. Imagine measuring a room like, yeah, that's about 300 barleys wide. Looks good to me. They use this system for shoe sizes, and it still affects modern shoe sizing today, which means your shoes are the size they are because a guy in 1324 eyeballed some grain. Makes sense. Okay, Finland. Cold, empty. God forgot this place. They had a unit called poronkusima, which literally means the distance a reindeer can go before it needs to piss. That's it. That's the measurement, about 7.5 kilometers. Because when you're traveling across frozen hell with reindeer, meters are useless. You don't think in distance, you think in bladder capacity. So instead of saying, we'll travel 15 kilometers, you say, yeah, like 2 reindeer pisses. Honestly, more practical than miles. All right, this one is incredible. The sheppy. A sheppy is the maximum distance at which sheep still look nice. From far away, they look like fluffy little clouds. Very peaceful, very pastoral. Once you get closer and can see their faces, you're too close. You've crossed the sheppy. So back up. It has zero math behind it, zero science, zero objectivity. It's entirely based on vibes and disappointment. That's it. I don't know what to say anymore. The banana equivalent dose. Yes. Eating 1 banana exposes you to a tiny amount of radiation because bananas contain potassium. And potassium has a radioactive isotope. Congrats, your snack is spicy. So scientists, trying to calm people down about radiation, went, okay, what if we explain this using bananas? So instead of saying, this exposure is 0.1 microsieverts, they say, this is like eating 1 banana. And if you're wondering, how many bananas would actually kill you, radiation-wise? Tens of millions, like 40 million bananas. Not eaten. You'd die way earlier just trying. But technically, yes, enough bananas equals death by radiation. So the next time someone says bananas are healthy, just know they are. But also, given enough time and commitment, they can absolutely take you out. Now, let's get microscopic and stupid. The beard second. A beard second is the distance an average beard grows in 1 second, which is a few nanometers. Basically a measurement invented because someone refused to say really, really small. It started as a joke, obviously, but the idea was, hey, instead of saying tiny abstract numbers no one understands, what if we explain it in beard growth? So now you can technically say things like, this computer processes data fast enough to save us half a beard second, which sounds fake, but is somehow less confusing than nanometers. So yeah, every time you shave, you are erasing data. Congratulations. Now, the smoot. Back in 1958, some MIT students looked at the Harvard Bridge in Boston and went, yeah, we could use math, or we could use Dave. Not metaphorically. They literally laid a guy named Oliver Smoot flat on the ground over and over again until the bridge was done. 1 smoot equals the height of Oliver Smoot, 5'7". They measured the bridge as 364.4 smoots, plus 1 ear, for precision. This started as a stupid joke, but to this day, the Harvard Bridge is officially marked in smoots, every 10 smoots. They repaint the lines regularly like it's a real thing. Google Earth lets you measure distances in smoots. And the best part? Oliver Smoot later became the head of the American National Standards Institute, So a man who was once used as a ruler ended up in charge of making measurement rules. This guy has a better character arc than Kratos. Now let's talk about risk. Like, actual risk. Because at some point, a very serious person looked at the universe and said, what if we measured danger? That's where the micromort comes in. A micromort is a 1 in a million chance of dying. That's the whole unit. So skydiving? That's about 7 micromorts. Driving a few hundred miles? 1 micromort. Which means technically you can sit there and go, yeah, I almost died today. That was like 30 micromorts, easy. And this was invented to help people make rational decisions, which is hilarious because no human has ever said, this activity carries 12 micromorts. Better reconsider. Nobody thinks like that. Instead, we do stuff like, oh no, skydiving is dangerous. Drive 6 hours straight while half asleep. The funniest part is that micromorts are used by insurance companies and risk analysts. So somewhere out there is a spreadsheet that says things like, base jumping, 400 micromorts. Climbing Everest, thousands of micromorts. And someone looked at that and still went, yeah, worth it. Micromorts are useful because they're honest. They don't care about vibes. They don't care about confidence. They just quietly say, hey, this might kill you, statistically, which is way more information than your brain actually wants. And finally, the most unhinged one, the Millihelen. So in Greek mythology, Helen of Troy was so hot she launched 1,000 ships. So naturally someone went, okay, cool, let's make that math. 1 Helen equals 1,000 ships. 1 Millihelen, 1 ship. Which means attractiveness is now quantifiable. You can just look at someone and go, yeah, that's like 3 millihelens. Strong, but not war-starting. And yes, negative millihelens exist. Those don't launch ships. Those actively sink them. Which is insane, but also the most beautiful scale we've ever had. So yeah. Turns out measurement was never about accuracy. It was about, close enough. And somehow, we built civilization on that. That's it, boys. Thanks for watching.